Now here's Jim Keller with the Deer News.
Our first story this week. Senate bill would drop deer baiting fine to $1. This story is from the Michigan Radio website and was reported by Rick Pluta. Governor Gretchen Whitmer vetoed a bill last year to end a ban on allowing hunters to use bait to attract deer. Republicans who disagree with that veto just made their next move. A new bill would allow the baiting ban to remain in place during the deer hunting season, but it would reduce the penalty for violations to $1. The Michigan Natural Resources Commission enacted the ban in 2018. Its purpose is to combat the spread of disease between animals where hunters place bait traps. Some hunters say that's a mistake and the state should let them use baiting to reduce the risk by further reducing the size of the deer herd. There's no word from the governor's office on whether she'd sign the legislation that's not very different from what she's already rejected. The bill does not say a violation of the ban will result in a fine, just that it may result in a fine. Dick's Sporting Goods pulling hunting gear from more than 440 more locations. This story is from the Fox News website and was reported by Michael Bartiromo. Dick's Sporting Goods has announced plans to remove the hunting departments from approximately 440 additional locations following a similar, albeit much smaller, effort last year. In a press release Tuesday, along with the company's fourth quarter earnings report, Dick's confirmed that it would be removing the hunting departments sometime in fiscal 2020, though there was no specific time frame announced. Dick's also declined to say which stores in particular would be affected. The company had previously removed guns and ammunition from 125 of its locations roughly 1 year ago, after Dick's first announced it would no longer be selling assault-style weapons at any of its locations in the wake of the tragic Parkland school shooting. The stores also raised the age of requirements for gun purchases to 21. At the same time, gun and ammunition manufacturers including O.F. Mossberg and Sons Incorporated and MKS Supply announced they would no longer be doing business with Dick's. These moves apparently had little effect on the company's sales, however, as the Dick's chairman and CEO reported strong fourth quarter results in the latest earnings report, as well as growth across each of the three primary categories of hardlines, apparel, and footwear. The company shares also jumped 12.2% in Tuesday pre-market trading, Fox Business reported. A representative from Dick's Sporting Goods was not immediately available to comment. The company currently operates 726 stores in 47 states, as well as 94 Golf Galaxy locations and 27 Field & Stream stores. I knew he was trying to kill me. Fort Collins man fends off rabid mountain lions attack. This story is from the Coloradoan website and was reported by Miles Blumhard. Randy Kirshen has spent nearly 20 years hunting and fishing in Colorado and had never seen a mountain lion in the wild. When he finally did, it was an arm length away from attacking him. All I keep remembering is that face and those beady eyes looking at me, the 57-year-old Kirshen said Monday while recovering from his injuries at his Fort Collins home, and I knew he was trying to kill me. Kirshen was cutting shower towels in the driveway of a customer's home on River Rim Road about 1:30 p.m. when UPS driver Alex Rodriguez pulled up for a delivery. The two men were talking and Kirshen was standing outside the truck while Rodriguez was inside the vehicle. That's when Kirshen noticed out of the corner of his eye what he first thought was a dog coming around the truck. Then he recognized the animal as a mountain lion. He said the cougar never slowed but instead picked up speed while crouching and then jumped up from about 2 or 3 feet from him and caught the right arm Kirshen instinctively raised to fend off the attack. His shoulder was forced awkwardly backward in the powerful attack, which ripped his shoulder tendons and muscles as he and the cougar landed on the ground. He said the cougar kept coming at him 6 or 7 times, and he fended it off with punches and kicks to the cougar's head and chest. On the final attack, the cougar got Kirshen's legs and was about an arm's length from his face when Rodriguez hit the mountain lion with a piece of wood from a nearby pallet. He is expected to fully recover but faces shoulder surgery and will be out of work for 3 months. Kirshen was the first of 2 victims in the mountain lion attack Wednesday west of Loveland. The second victim was Larimer County Sheriff Deputy Michael Ross, who, like Kirshen, received multiple injuries from the cougar. Both are receiving rabies treatments after the 91-pound mountain lion tested positive for the disease after wildlife officers fatally shot it. That concludes this week's edition of the Big Buck Registry's Deer News. Special thanks to Tim Donzie, Daniel Applebaum, and John Geis for leads on stories this week. For links to the stories featured this week, please check our show notes at www.bigbuckregistry.com. If you have any ideas for future topics or have any questions about any of these topics, please email me at jim@bigbuckregistry.com. For the Big Buck Registry, this is Jim Keller with the Deer News.